Four types of meetings here, guys. We should have a culture meeting. We should have an inspirational meeting, a State of the Union address. We should have strategic planning sessions every 90 days to create the strategy and the vision for the company. We should have organizational weekly meetings to improve communication and drive results, review KPIs. And then, guys, we should have daily tactical meetings that ask the question about, did you perform the process you owned yesterday? What is your number? Did you hit your number? How many calls were you supposed to make? How many closings did you have? Those are the types of questions we ask on a daily to make sure the process stays working. Next, business pipeline. Guys, it's our job as leaders to know our pipeline. From the time that we market to the time we make money. What does that pipeline look like? The world of Six Sigma, we call that a SIPOC. Supply, input, process, output, customer. And guys, we want to know the cycle times in between each one of those. From the time we market to the time we get a lead. What's the average cycle time? From the time you get a lead to the time they sign up as a customer. What's the average cycle time? From the time they sign up as a customer to the time you fulfill. Right? And from the time you fulfill to the time you get paid and they get a satisfied customer at the end. That's SIPOC. When you add up those cycle times, that tells you your cash conversion cycle. And if you have a couple different products that you're fulfilling on and like 4 different ways of marketing, you can have up to 25 different cash conversion cycles. I had a real estate company the other day, had 5 different ways to market. TV, ads, direct mail, like SMS, texting. But they also did novations, wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold. It's like 25 different cash conversion cycles. Why do I need to know that? Because I have to plan. Guys, I had a client that was July. They said, we're going to do $1 million this year. Okay. How much have you done? $350,000. What's in your pipeline? About $400,000. Okay. It's July. Like, man, we're at like $750,000. You think they're going to hit $1 million by the end of the year? Every one of you guys in here would think yes, right? Until we found out the cash conversion cycle was 9 months. Their year's over. And you're about ready to create a vision for $1 million this year and spend money on that, you're bankrupt. See the importance of the cash conversion cycle? Helps you plan properly. Then, guys, we've got to know our numbers. 4 types of numbers. I've trademarked these 4 together. Key purpose indicator, measuring your company purpose. Key profit indicators. Key performance indicator, and your key process indicators. Those 4 KPIs are critical to the success of a company. These KPIs are actually correlated back to the meetings. Your culture meeting should be reviewing your purpose indicator. Your strategy session is driven by the profit indicator. Nobody in the history of America has ever changed strategy because they were making bank. Right? They may have adjusted, added to it, but they were like, we're going to burn the bridges. Our strategy sucks because we made a lot of money. Right? Next, performance indicator goes in that weekly organizational meeting. And your process indicator goes to your tactical daily meetings. So we have to have these. And guys, if we do it right, we build down from purpose, determine our profits, determine our performance, and then determine our daily activities that are going to get us what? Back to purpose. So if you build down properly and you measure up every day, you're protecting the company purpose every day by holding the process indicator accountable. See that? This isn't hard. Business doesn't have to be hard. It's just not simple. Right? Next, process mapping. Got to get these processes out of our head and on paper. Process is what we do. Once we have that, we lean it out, then we document the procedures, which is how we do it. Process is what we do. Procedures are how we do it. Policy is when you do it. And if you do that right, you'll drive the productivity of your company the right way. And we measure that. We measure the productivity. Because why? We're looking for the very next thing is we're going to expand at this point. Because we have resources dialed in, we have inspiration dialed in, we have our systems dialed in, and guess what? You've ETR'd it. You've earned the right to expand. Now you've done it right. And you could go through this as fast as you want to go. And the more you do it, and the better you get at it, and the more of an expert you become at installing a business operating system, the faster you can go, and you can do as many businesses as you want at that point. Let's ask the questions. 1 to 3. We have documented processes, procedures, policies that are easily accessible to our team members. 1 to 3. Rate it for me. Number 2, we have key numbers that each team member knows, tracks on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Creating accountability, 1 to 3. We have organized weekly meetings where problems are solved, tasks are assigned, and progress is measured. Last, we have a clear understanding of that business pipeline, that cash conversion cycle, that SIPOC, from the time we acquire a customer all the way to now where they've referred us to somebody else. We understand it completely, and we're managing toward it. How many of you guys say you're stuck in this quadrant? This is an area in which you feel like you have a lot of work you need to do. A lot of hands going up. Don't be alone here, guys. Listen, we're all struggling in one of these areas. Hey, listen, I've done this for 20-some years. You know, I'm not immune to it not working all the time. There are times that I have to, as an innovator, go back in and re-innovate my processes because my process indicator tells me it's not working anymore. Right? I had a guy call me the other day. He's like, man, my integrator's not working out for me. Like, they're not removing obstacles. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. And he's like, man, like, my product's really suffering. He's like, I wish they'd innovate my product. And I go, bro, that's not their job. Their job is to integrate the solution, not innovate it. It's your job. The person failing your business is you. I was like, how many beaches you been on the last 90 days? How many rounds of golf have you played? Like, what are you doing? Are you absent from your business? Because if you are the visionary of your organization, guys, it's your job to innovate these processes. It's what it is. If you don't want to be that person, if you don't want to be the resource to the company and innovate the process, then don't sit in the seat. The seat I like to sit in is called the director of the board. That's where I want to be. I want to be an owner. How many of you guys started a business so you could have a job? Not me, man. I don't want to own a job. I started a business to make money, to get my time back, become free. And at any point, guys, a business requires me to be a resource, I'll shut it down. I've started 67 businesses in the last 7 years. I have 14 right now. I've sold 10. You do the math. It's 24 minus 67. How many of you think you got shut down? A lot. Because at some point, it either didn't make us the money, we got the wrong person in the seat, or it was taking too much of my time. Make sense? Engagement. It's a fun one. This is where everybody gets excited, right? Why? Because we want to expand. This is where we create the right brand. You know, Ryan's companies used to be named something different. But when he wanted to expand, Wealthy was created. Right? He was already good at his product. Brand gives you more recognition. Expands your product. Marketing, advertising, and sales. You have to have those dialed in. It's not that you haven't been doing them already. It's not that you weren't even actually good at it. It's the 10x of them. Right? Sales looks completely different when you're selling $1 million worth of revenue a year versus $1 billion worth of revenue. It just looks different. So you have to know how to expand it properly. You have to be able to audit your brand. You have to create the right brand feel, right brand assistance, and the right brand management. Part of what we do here, what Ryan does, is help dial that in for you. We have to analyze your product. We have to make sure that product is scalable and stays profitable. We have to understand our consumer psychology, what they think, what they want. We have to understand our marketing plan. We have to have one. How many of you guys have a good marketing plan? Some of you guys might just be winging this. That's not a good plan. You have to A/B test things. Man, I'll tell you, from standing behind the scenes, watching Ryan work, man's a genius at testing. It's like he has a laboratory and just constantly testing things. And if this doesn't work, that doesn't work, we adjust this. And he does it based on all these numbers. Just backstage with him earlier, and he's like talking about how, you know, he's testing this and doing this and looking at that. And I mean, stuff that's a year from now. That's not even a part of this room today, but he's testing stuff. Always testing. Advertising. We got to have the right channels. Can't just spend money to spend money. We have to have metrics that tell us it's working, right? We have to have the right budget for our money. You know, one thing I've learned working with bigger clients is the amount of money they spend here. Like, it's 30, 40, 50% that starts to go into this. Their budget goes from, in a small business, 10, 15%, to up to 50%, because they're trying to 10x, they're trying to scale. And then last, being consistent with the brand, saying the same things.